It is Scott from Bonsai. Today I'm comparing the Canon EF-M 32mm f1.4 to the Viltrox 33mm f1.4 for the EF-M system. Of course, in these videos it's not good to talk about specific prices, but 67% higher price for the Canon than a Viltrox lens. That's a big difference. Let's start off with a comparison of features between the two lenses. 43mm filter thread on the Canon and a 52mm filter thread on the Viltrox. 52mm filters are easier to find and all that compared to the 43s, but you can get either one, so kind of a wash. Still, I think 52 is better. One of the potential negatives of the Canon lens, which I was thinking about putting in its own category, but the filter thread on the Canon lens is very strange. If you bottom out the filter, go all the way, it's going to spin in there or just come out. I think could have potentially been early lenses. This is one of the first ones that normal people could buy. I don't know. Maybe they fixed it, maybe they didn't, maybe it's a feature. Hard to say, but the filter thread on the Canon lens is not good. It does work if you get the filter perfectly in there. Viltrox lens filter is just fine. It's metal, works well. Talking about the negative issues, of course we got the Canon with the filter, but the Viltrox, at least my copy, has some issues with the aperture ring and temperatures, or like moisture levels. I'm not totally sure, but I've had quite a few issues when I'm in the A setting in colder conditions, things like that, where the camera would fully lock up. Yeah, when it turns off, 2-second timer, the Q button went away and the autofocus isn't working unless I do that, or if I turn the camera off, turn it back on. But as long as I use it in the actual setting mode, set the aperture on the lens, I haven't had an issue. Just something to note with my specific lens. When focusing, the inner barrel of the Canon lens does extend. The Viltrox is fully internalized materials. The Viltrox lens is all metal, except for maybe this little area here. The mount is metal. The Canon, the mount is metal. The exterior might be some type of composite, I'm not too sure, but it's not really cold to the touch. But it's held up okay. Regarding firmware updates, the Viltrox lens has had quite a few firmware updates, definitely a good thing for that. There were some issues, especially early on. It has a built-in micro USB port for updating firmware. It's very easy to use. The Canon lens, there have never been any firmware updates for it, but if there were, you can do it through the camera. The Viltrox lens comes with a hood. It says PL10A, which is very nice that they include it. The Canon does not come with a hood, you have to buy it additionally. If you do want the official hood, it's the ES60. The hood itself on the Viltrox is metal here, but there is some plastic for the actual connection to the lens. Obviously the main difference is the focal length, but in practice, 33 versus 32 isn't going to be a huge difference in field of view. Just know it's there. They both have the maximum aperture of f1.4. Autofocus range is definitely an important distinction between the two lenses. 0.76 foot or 0.23 meters for the Canon. Viltrox is 1.31 foot or 0.4 meters. That means if you want to focus closer to objects, the Canon is going to be a better option for that. The Canon does have a switch to adjust how close you want to focus, so you can go the full range or 0.5 meters to infinity. That only works in autofocus. If you want to go into manual focus and have a limit, it's not going to happen, at least on the cameras that I've tried. Viltrox doesn't have any type of focus limiter, doesn't need it. On the Viltrox side, the difference is that it has an aperture ring. Canon doesn't have any type of aperture ring. With the Viltrox, the ring itself is smooth, although my copy is very tight. It's difficult to rotate. That might be why I have issues with the automatic setting in cold conditions or wet conditions. Both lenses have an aperture range of f1.4 to f16, so you're not going to get any difference in the small apertures. Sometimes lenses go a little smaller. Here I have a Canon M50 original. I'm going to put it on camera so you can get an idea of what the sizes look like. Obviously the Canon lens is smaller. The diameter isn't a huge difference, but the Viltrox is slightly thicker. So if you do use some type of quick release plate, you want to be careful with the Viltrox because it does not sit flush with the bottom of the camera. It is a nice size for the M50, no complaints. I'm going to get a quick autofocus sound from each lens so you can get an idea what they sound like. The Canon is much louder. In video situations, focus breathing, the Canon lens has a significant amount. I did it in manual focus, so I wasn't able to use the limiter switch. Clearly, lots of focus breathing on the Canon lens. Viltrox was pretty nice with the focus breathing, didn't have very much that I could notice. If you look to the side, you can see the box go in and out of the frame a little bit, but definitely a lot less for the Viltrox. Disclaimer with the image samples, very quick test, nothing scientific. Optically, no surprise, the Canon is better. Of course, with my testing, I'm not able to really get into much detail because I don't have the time, ability, or function or equipment to do proper lens sharpness tests and all that. With my quick tests, you can see clearly center frame Canon is better throughout the entire aperture range. But that doesn't mean the Viltrox is bad. It's a decent lens. You will get less contrast, more fringing, but you get consider price and all that into it as well. And then I did a quick indoor autofocus test back and forth between the tree and the Carota card. The question is, which lens is better? With anything in life, pretty much, it really depends on your needs, your situation, and everything else. Viltrox, the benefits here is that it's got the quiet autofocus motor, it's fully internal focus. It does have an aperture ring if you're into that. It is not mechanical, it's like an electronic type of aperture ring. It has the metal build quality. It does come with a hood. It's a good value. I think in video situations where you don't need to get very close, it has the low focus breathing on there, which is a nice feature for video for sure. With the Canon, close focusing is a really nice, unique feature for this type of lens, this field of view. You know, your 32mm with the crop, definitely good feature there, and it does have the switch to change focus. With image quality, the Canon's the best one, clearly. So if you really care about image quality, care about close focusing, Canon is it. If money is a consideration, obviously the Viltrox has a definite benefit there. With both lenses, I do go to the Canon a lot more. Again, the close focusing is very nice. Image quality is very nice, so with thumbnails and stuff, I tend to use the Canon when I can, or maybe the Sigma 56mm for the field of view. I do use this for photo outings, photo videos that I've done. Anyways, I'm Scott of Photography Bonsai. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks. If you did enjoy, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and the super thanks feature. Also, in the description, there will be links that are affiliate links to check these out. Yeah, see ya.